and gentlemen, this is a proper roller skate. This is a Rydell 695 split-lapsed boot with a lightweight aluminum reactor plate, bone Swiss ceramic bearings, and a mix of Adam G rod and lowboy wheels. Please do not confuse this with the pretty little skate that you used to have at roller derby. Also, please do not confuse it with the abomination that we call roller blades, or in my world, as they're referred to, fruit boots. So, approximately 3 times a week, I strap on my skates, I head down to the track, and I get ready to start knocking ladies down. My name is Bette Noire, number 73, and I play roller derby. So how many people in here have ever heard of roller derby? A few? Okay. Well, if I asked that question 5 years ago in London, I would get a sea of nothing. But nowadays, I'm pretty much assured that if I mention it, somebody's going to say, oh yeah, I saw something in the newspaper, or maybe online, or oh yeah, my friend's trying to get involved in that. You know, just last week I was having my legs waxed in Chelsea, as you do, and as I had to explain to the esthetician about the large bruise on my leg, she volunteered that she used to wax 2 other roller girls in Edinburgh. Waxing, a small world indeed. But of course, many of you don't know a thing about roller derby, so let's cover the basics. Roller derby is a full contact sport played on quad skates. There is an oval track and 2 teams of 5 players each. 4 girls from each team are blockers in the pack, and 1 girl from each team is the jammer, aka the point scorer. On the ref whistle, the pack and the jammers take off, and the jammers have to fight their way through the pack as many times as possible in a 2-minute jam or sprint. And they score points by passing members of the opposing team. All of the blockers are trying to stop the opposing jammer from getting through, while at the same time helping their jammer get through the pack. We use our bodies to do this. There are tons of rules, and you cannot hit, shove, elbow, punch, or anything too extreme, but you can knock the shit out of somebody with a well-timed hip check and send them flying into the audience. So let's get a little visual flavor of what this whole thing is about.
When I started, it was like 8 girls at disco night wearing helmets and learning how to turn left. Here we are now, which is pretty exciting.
Women's flat track roller derby today, it is real. The falls we take are real, the hits we take are real.
She took it for shave and a haircut.
This game only gets better as the clock ticks down.
When you're a kid, you go roller skating because it's fun. This is roller skating plus a really competitive, awesome, fun sport with a lot of strategy. It's anything you could want in a sport, especially for a fan, but really for the athlete.
It's kind of got something for everyone. It's got the grace, the beauty of women, but yet the power of women too.
She powers her way through.
We're expected to be cute and pretty and play soccer and tennis, and there's a lot of us out there that really think it's fun to play a contact sport.
Skating fast and hitting people. Sounds like fun.
So what you just saw that was a promo for the yearly tournament season that takes place within the Women's Flat Track Derby Association. The WFTDA is the highest level of international competition at this point, and you can see from the clip just how serious the athletic side is taken. But roller derby did start as an endurance race, actually, in 1930s America, and didn't become full contact until the 1940s. The sport drew arena-sized crowds to co-ed games up until the 1980s, but the promoter-owned spectacle also started to focus more on scripted games with a lot of fake fighting and drama. It lost its way, and the audience kind of started to die out. Then in 2003, a group of women in Austin, Texas, decided to bring derby back as a female-centric sport. This resurgence refocused the sport on the athletics instead of the scripted games, and it also grew out of the alternative punk rock scene. And in the early days of modern derby, entertainment was very much a part of the show. Crazy outfits with fishnets and mini skirts were everywhere. Burlesque and punk rock half shows were totally the norm. and everyone had an alter ego skate name to live up to, and usually a lot of tattoos, too. It was real sport, but with a dash of show. An audience started flocking to ballast to see girls in fishnets knocking each other down. One of the key differences between this new derby and the old one was ownership. Rather than a promoter putting on an event with paid skaters, the ladies in Austin were running the show. And as new teams started sprouting up around the USA and eventually the world, the game started to change and become more serious. And we, the skaters, made the decisions about where we wanted our sport to go. One of the unofficial mottos of women's flat track roller derby is "for the skaters, by the skaters." And for the majority of derby organizations around the world, this is truly a guiding mantra. We are really running things ourselves. My league, London Roller Girls, is a limited company with a set of directors, committees made up by the skaters, and we do everything: training, marketing, administration, PR, merchandising, everything, event production, you name it, and we are making it happen. And that's pretty unique in the world of sports. What else is unique about roller derby? Well, yeah, sure, it's the fact that we're playing a serious, hardcore sport, but still maintaining a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek attitude about the whole thing. Yeah, it's more serious than the original fishnet and miniskirt days. But we are definitely, we haven't lost the fun element at all. We are still women who like to express ourselves, and we love to dress up and enjoy the entertainment aspect of it too. All of our teams have their own themes, and most of our skaters have alter ego skate names that they're known for. In London Roller Girls, our teams are the Steam Rollers, Steampunk Roller Skaters, the Harbor Grudges, Surly Girls from the High Seas, the Suffragettes, space-age suffragette feminists, and the crowd favorite, of course, the ultra-violent femmes, the Clockwork Orange baddies. And the skate names are a big part of it, too. Some of my favorites: number 13, Correctional Felicity. Number 999, Flamin' Aggro, firefighter by day. Number 1984, Grievous Bodily Charm. There are tons. Kamikaze Kitten, the Duchess of Crutches, Sinister Mary Clarence, Raw Heidi, who was here tonight, actually. Number 04, Fox Sake. I love this name, personally, but unfortunately it has caused us some problems. In fact, we had a team of London Roller Girls compete on a BBC quiz show, and they wouldn't let us use our names because of Fox. We tried to convince them that it was pronounced Fox Sake and was some kind of homage to Japanese manga. Yeah. Eggheads producers weren't buying it. Yeah, that's right, I said eggheads. Not only are we really good athletes and doing everything with ourselves, but we're kind of smart, too. First team ever to beat all the eggheads in the head-to-head rounds. I was on the team. Sadly, we lost to the last egghead in the sudden death round. Still, we're big nerds, so we're pretty happy that we were mentioned in the Wikipedia page. So, here I am talking about how awesome I think roller derby is and how great stuff we do, and you're thinking, oh my God, what an awesome job. If only, right? No, actually, it's not my real job. It's just the job that takes all of my spare time. You know, my second job, if you will. Actually, to be honest, I have like 5 jobs. I have the job of being a director in a company. I have the job of being a wife. I have the job of being a mother to a toddler. I have the job of going to practice 3 times a week to try and train to be an athlete. Oh, and I also have the job of being the founder of the league itself. So we live in a world where women's sport is almost always playing second fiddle to men's sport. Despite the fact that roller derby is often said to be one of the fastest growing sports in the world by many news organizations, I didn't make it up, there is still exponentially less money in women's sport than even the most inane of men's sports. In the world of sports entertainment and sports money, it's all about television. And women are just not represented at that level. And despite how awesome derby is, I just don't think that it's going to be the thing that changes it for everyone else. So we struggle along, busting our asses every day to devote as much time as possible to doing what we really love. And we're all living the stereotype of office worker by day, badass roller derby chick by night. If you don't believe me, I can take some skates outside later. So, you know, despite the fact that we're somewhat resentful that we can't do this for our day job, we're also proud that we're doing it our way and we're not selling out by trying to make it a sexy spectacle and by a bunch of men. Journalists ask me all the time, is this a feminist sport? Well, that can be a pretty loaded question for a lot of people, and I'm not an expert in women's studies, so I'm not about to launch into a thesis about that. I can definitely see the third wave feminism riot girl flag flying here. But, you know, a lot of women are involved in derby, and most of them defy labels. Do we believe that women are powerful, can do what they want, and wear fishnets if that's what makes them happy? Absolutely. Ultimate embodiment of third wave feminism? Go right ahead. So I certainly wasn't thinking about these higher issues when I found derby. In 2005, I was living in Los Angeles, exploring a new life after a divorce, not looking for a new hobby. I did love to roller skate, though. I have been skating since I was 5 years old, in the rink, on the beach, at roller disco. I wasn't amazing, but I did love it. And I've always loved a good pair of fishnets. So one day, my friend shows me a website and some video clips of the Gotham Girls roller derby from New York City. And it was like some kind of lightning bolt went off. Like, I literally looked at the screen and I said, oh my God, I have to do this. So I found the local league in Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Derby Dolls. And within 5 minutes of my first practice, I was completely hooked for life. Some of you may have heard of the Drew Barrymore film, Whip It, which is about a young woman finding roller derby. There's a line in there that resonates so much with a lot of roller girls, and with me for sure. The protagonist is explaining to her parents why she needs to keep skating, and she says, I am in love with this. I love roller derby so much that when I had to move to the UK, I had to start a league here. There was no way that I could leave the USA and not skate derby anymore. And so that's how London Roller Girls was founded, the league that I play with. It was the first league in the UK. It all started in April 2006. And now by November 2012, we have over 93 leagues in the UK and over 1,300 leagues around the world. The newest league just started in Cairo, called the Kai Rollers. Right. So 2013, February, will be my 7-year derbyversary. That makes me a veteran and an old lady in a sport where the game just keeps advancing and the youngsters keep coming and getting better, always frustrating. Plus, my life has changed a lot since I found roller derby. I met my husband after I moved to London, and as I was playing derby when he met me, one would think he would understand it and be really into it. Sadly, that is not the case. Mr. Posh, as the derby girls call him, actually hates roller derby. Well, really, he hates the amount of time and mental energy it takes away from our family life. But, you know, he does understand it a little bit, and he actually did a really awesome gesture that makes derby girls really happy, which is that he proposed to me at the end of a bout that I was the captain of the team that we just won. So that was a pretty good night all around, you know. And then, of course, I got what the derby girls call the 9-month injury. Yeah. Nothing like pregnancy to put a damper on your skating career. Thank God I had a little girl. She's 2 now, and at Christmas she's getting her first pair of roller skates. Sorry. So the mainstream media loves to flirt with derby coverage from time to time, a little human interest, some novelty factor for the entertainment section, an occasional proper article in the sports section. Without fail, most of them take the stereotypical approach. The office worker, teacher, mom by day, and the vicious vixen in fishnets by night. But yeah, of course, that's something we really roll our eyes at, even though it is a part of what this is all about. It's one part, and I certainly illustrate that myself. But it's also so much about the amazing athletics, the female empowerment, the excitement generated by the fans, the absolute passion that it demands from so many people involved. It's serious business. So let's end this with a hardcore look at what roller derby girls are really like.
It's important that we're considered as athletes, you know. It's a serious business. So these are some of my teammates. This is Battle Axe, Death Cake and Cunt. That was a major! It's roller derby. It's roller derby. Back block! Elbow! Call it off! There's 2 teams on the track, 5 girls on each team. Has anyone got a spare wrist guard? Once they've done that, they've broken out, they'll get called lead jammer. Has anyone got a mouth guard I can borrow? Every opposing player they pass, they'll score a point on. Can I borrow your tape? Pretty simple, really. No, there isn't a ball in the game. Oh no, I can't make that, I've got a game. Safety! Who's on safety? I can't make that, I've got a committee meeting. Am I on safety? You're getting married on Saturday. I've got a game. Man, it's like your pads! High five! Oh no, sorry, that's my pads. I wish I could skate like Stephanie Maney. People say that boys can't play roller derby. I say that is really sexist. Ooh! Ooh! Boys cannot play roller derby. Inside line! That was awesome! Is this vegan?
If I win the lottery, I'm actually going to buy the legal warehouse.
We're not all lesbians. Lesbian! I didn't mean to hit your breast. I mean, most of us are lesbians, but not all of us, so she's lesbian. She's not a lesbian.
Susie Hot Rod or Bonnie Condos.
The marathons of a sport. We're athletes. It's totally not my fault.
Totally wasn't major. Have you read my blog?
Oh, awesome!
I think she needs an ice pack.
You're awesome! Awesome!
I've got practice tomorrow.
There we go.